Here we start looking at a poetry prompt for the AP English Lit test. Let's look at the prompt at the top of the page first. Read carefully the following poem by Robert Pack, paying close attention to the relationship between form and meaning. Then, in a well-written essay, analyze how the literary techniques used in this poem contribute to its meaning. In this prompt, you will notice that the word meaning is used 2 times. So that's important there, because meaning, as you know, has to do with the theme or the holistic understanding of the poem. Also, this prompt gives you a clue as to what to talk about, in that it says form, the relationship between form and meaning. So that's important to note too. Now, this is a very unusual poem, and it's given handily for us, the information that it's a sonnet here. And if you look at just this block part here, you can see that it is 14 lines, and its rhyme is ABAB, CD, CD, EF, GG. So it's a Shakespearean sonnet. Now, using the TP-Cast mnemonic device, you will notice that the number 1 thing and the last thing is to always look at the title. And the title here is very helpful, because this poem is To an Empty Page. It's an ode poem dedicated to an empty page. So we know right away that this is a meta about poetry. It's a poem about poetry. And that helps us to understand it. And we see that there are 2 speakers here, the voice and the echo. And if you think about who the speaker is, who makes the echo, it's the voice that makes the echo, right? When you talk and it's echoed back at you, that's your voice starting. So let's just quickly look. How from emptiness can I make a start? Start. How do I start writing a poem? Just start. And starting, must I master joy or grief? Grief. So he's going to write a poem about grief, I guess. But is there consolation in the heart? Art. So you'll see here that for a lot of these lines, the echo answers the question posed in the voice part of the poem. O cold reprieve, where's natural relief? Leaf. So there it's giving you a visual image of how nature helps the speaker. Leaf blooms, burns red before delighted eyes, dies. So this is a poem about grief, and now we have a leaf dying. Here beauty makes of dying ecstasy. See this. Yet what's the end of our life's long disease? Ease. When we die, we're in ease, we're resting. If death is not, who is my enemy? Me. So we are sometimes our own worst enemies. Then, are you glad that I must end in sleep? Leap. I'd leap into the dark if dark were true. And in that night, would you rejoice or weep? Weep. What contradiction makes you take this view? You. I feel your calling leads me where I go. And whether happiness is there, you know. No. So it seems like the speaker starts maybe talking to someone else later in the poem when it addresses the you. But remember, the title of the poem is again up here, To an Empty Page. So we have to keep that in mind when looking at this poem.